In this video, I'm gonna tell you guys the 10 things that the rich and the wealthy will not tell you, but I'm gonna tell you. So hopefully you guys can learn from all this so you guys can be rich and wealthy one day. But make sure whatever you learn from me, you gotta pay up for it, help somebody else. You got it? Number one, the rich and the wealthy, they make a lot of their money in real estate, not buying nice property. They buy property that actually need work. They buy property that is stinky. They buy property that actually has big yard, tall grass, property that actually need a major remodel because they know they can buy it for cheap. And then they actually add value to it and they force value to create sweat equity. And that to me is a smart way of thinking. Number two, they use debt wisely. There is good debt and there's bad debt, right? Credit card, that's the worst debt, folks. If you can't afford to buy something and it paid off in 30 days, don't use your credit card, okay? That is really bad debt. Good debt, for example, buying a house. Let's say you're a first-time home buyer. You buy a house for, $300,000. As a first-time home buyer, you can put down 3.5% to 5%. Let's call it 5%. 5% of 300,000 is $15,000. You put down 15,000, you borrow the rest of the money from the bank. Using the bank's money, now you can have a $300,000 asset with only $15,000. You make monthly payment every month, right? You live there better than renting. Now, for example, if you were to actually buy a rental property, you expect to put down 20%. 20% of 300,000 is 60 grand. You turn that into a renter, let the renter pay the mortgage every month, right? That's good debt. Number three, they always start with the end in mind. Anything you do in life, any goal you have, you always gotta start with the end in mind and then work backwards. For example, let's say if you weigh 175 pounds, and you have a goal to actually weigh 150. That's the goal, that's your end game. Then you work back into the present on what kind of activity you gotta do, what kind of mindset you gotta have to actually be at 150 every single day, and you work those activities every day till you get to the goal you have. No different in real estate. If you wanna have a $5,000 a month in passive income, you work backward to what kind of activity you gotta do to actually have a rental property give you $5,000 a month in passive income. Number four, know the difference between active income and passive income. The rich and wealthy, they all got a lot of different business. They know their business is basically their machine to create massive active income, earn income every year to come through the front door. Now they know they actually trade their time, their energy, their creativity, right, their mentorship, right, to the employee and their staff and their people that work for the company to create money, right? They're trading their time for money. But what they do is they take all the money they make and they go buy a lot of real estate. Right? And then, they create passive income or they invest in other kind of investments so they can create passive income. Now, when you get a passive income, you guys, now they're trading that money for time. They have to do both, right? They got to create lots of active income to take all the active income and to create passive income. So that way, when they get older, they can retire. Number five, setback and breakdown and failure is just part of the journey. The rich and the wealthy know, you guys, if you're gonna play big, right? From where you at and where you want to go. You don't know all the answers. You can do a lot of your research, but on your journey going there, you're not going to be the most efficient. You're not going to be the most effective. You're going to make failure. You're going to actually make mistake. You're going to get some setback. It's this part of it. They accept it. What they do, they learn from that, and then they actually redo it, and they do it better the next time. They take failure as feedback, not failure as setback or mistake or problem. Number six, being rich and wealthy takes certain sacrifices and delayed gratification. Folks, I can tell you, when I was coming up, okay, as I was building my wealth, man, there'd be time where I worked 7 days a week, 10, 12, 13 hours a day. I did that for years and years. Cameron and I sometimes didn't take vacation for years because we were building our business. And then also when we were making money, instead of actually buying a nice big house to live in, we would take some of this money, we'll save it, and we'll live, at my mom and dad's house, and we'll take some of the money and we'll start buying real estate with it. Because we didn't want to actually have the nice big house, we want to create some passive income. And so we delay our big houses by buying more rental property and then build that side of the business up with the passive income. So later on, when having the passive income, it can pay for my own primary house. These are little things we have to move around, you guys, right? And sacrifice for us to have rich and wealth today. Number seven, preserving wealth. You see, you guys, making money is one thing, okay? Investing it right now is another thing. But maintaining that wealth and growing that wealth to the next generation and the next generation is a whole nother thing. This is why today it's important that you teach your kids and the kids' kids right down the road on how to create this wealth. I want to teach Russ and Hudson how to actually, maintain this money, how to grow this money, what does money mean to them. That way when I ever pass away, they don't blow the money and spend it on stupid stuff, right? And then mess it up for the next generation down the road after them. So it's important you teach your kids to understand this stuff. That way the generation of wealth keep going and going and going. Number 8, money have limitation. Of course, if you have money, you can actually have a very comfortable life because, you can have a nice house, you can have nice cars, you can go on vacation. That's one thing. But money will not buy you happiness and peace of mind. Now, you can have money, but if you don't have a good relationship with your wife, if you get a divorce, then they want half of your profit, right? If you have money, but you don't have a good relationship with your kids, when they grow up, they don't want to have nothing to do with you, then how would that even be successful, even rich and wealthy? So money is great, but it cannot buy you happiness and peace of mind. Number 9, they are in pursuit of constant growth. Folks, just because you have a lot of money and you're wealthy and you think you made it there, you don't think that these people actually are still growing? They're not sitting around, folks. These people are here, they're constantly keep learning, going to seminar, reading books, interviewing more successful people in front of them to keep growing their mental side, their business, their investment. They keep growing. And hopefully, of course, they keep growing their personal life so they can actually have a better relationship with everybody they're in contact with. So for kids, if you want to be wealthy and rich, you got to keep feeling, you got to keep learning new things. Tony Robbins had this acronym called CANI, C-A-N-I, and it stands for constant and never-ending improvement. Do that. Number 10, you gotta have health if you want wealth. The people that I know that I actually studied that has a lot of wealth, they are fanatic when it comes down to fitness, okay? They do triathlon, they do marathon, I see them all. So they have to work on their physical self, mental self, spiritual self, for them to actually have all that so they can actually be at the pinnacle, so they can actually perform a high level when they're making money and investment. Also, you guys, what's the point of having all this money if you don't have wealth and you're gonna die early or from cancer or from diseases, whatever it is, because you didn't take care of yourself, you're too busy making money. All right, you guys, that is a wrap. I hope you guys enjoyed the 10 things what rich and wealthy people do to create more wealth, and they're not telling you, and I'm happy to tell you guys because you know what? I've been there, I'm doing it, and I'm also going there. And I hope that you guys learn all this so you guys go out there, have a lot of wealth for yourself, but also make sure that you guys have your mental, spiritual, physical, right, family all intact so you guys can have the whole thing, okay? So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, okay? Also, comment below, right, what you guys thought about this video, what you taking away from it, or any other video you guys want me to make, all right? Until then, you guys make sure you hit the subscribe button, turn on the bell, and we'll see y'all soon. Peace.